This is about to run out of battery. I mean space.
No, it's not. I have 4.
Okay. 4 hours.
Yeah, right now.
So put this on.
Take my boy outside. Turned up. Same energy you need. Right. So what's up, everybody? Thank you so much for being here. You know, in the first installment of Time to Grow. About a few months ago, I came up to Najee after working out here at Mayweather Gym for like almost a year now. It feels like. I've been boxing a little bit for like 5 years now, but working out here with my brothers who welcomed me in, and it was different from any other boxing gym I've been to because I actually could connect with these dudes, you know, on a real level, and the things that they would say to me while we're boxing would, like, you know, touch my mental and touch my heart. So, you know, we came up with this idea, and then Najee, I have to thank her so much because she just took this to a whole nother level, and she's the reason. My boy James Allende. I just want to thank everybody, and of course the Mayweather Gym for hosting us today. So yeah, we can clap it up. Real quick, I don't want to waste too much more time. I want to introduce my good brothers and speakers who came, and you know, some came and traveled, some I haven't seen in a long time. So, you know, I want to start off by introducing Justin, please. Following him, I'll introduce these brothers and then they'll come in and say what they do. Following him, we have Mike Walls. Let's go. And last but not least, you know, the flyest, you got Roper. Let's go. Yeah, so I'll let these brothers tell you a little bit about their journey, and then we'll go into it. And Melo's going to be doing the talking more so. Yeah, so let me go ahead. What's what?
The original method with the keynote first?
Yeah. Let's do that. Keynote, we should do it. Yeah. All right, cool. Yeah, so we should switch spots.
All right, cool. No, we'll do the keynote first, then you guys put back on down. That's what's up.
Yeah. I'm like, okay, we supposed to come off. So I guess I did. Yeah.
Good afternoon. Glad that we all here. My name is Justin Moore. I am a owner of 2 mental health agencies, one here in LA and one in Houston, Texas. I'm glad we're here today and gathered here for such an important topic. We're talk about men's mental health and the importance of it and open the conversation, right? I want us to be able to be vulnerable and a lot more conversations that we have, be able to realize that you can take your guard down. And there's nothing weak about having those conversations and reaching out to your fellow friends and family members and opening up about what may be bothering you or what's going on in your life. And I spoke to a couple of you. We came in. Let me ask you, Jerry, how are you doing? How you feel? I'm good. Feel good? I'm out of my comfort zone. Out of your comfort zone? That's vulnerability. How you feeling?
I'm all right. You know, it's close to the anniversary of my mom's birthday. She died in 2014, so it's always a hard time. At around this time, it's also coming up my birthday, which is really get that balance of I'm being happy to know she's gone and happy about it.
Lil, how are you?
Oh yeah. I'm feeling better. I think I'm coming out of the season of like feeling like I don't know what direction I'm really supposed to go. A lot of my purpose is the entertainment industry. It seems like every time there's an obstacle that comes up, just COVID, that's a writer's strike. So it's like not really being able to get momentum and really, you know, taking this time to sit and be still and know that I got value despite what I do, you know, and
important. That's a coping skill that I was going to even talk about today. Is a lot of times we find ourselves in a space where we can be boggled down with everything we're trying to accomplish, or something that you're working on, you have a lot of passion in, and that's not working, right? But there's a lot of greatness that comes out of focusing on what you can control and the things that you are doing well, and being present and understanding and appreciating everything around you that is going right. And building out a checklist to say, okay, let me lock in on these things here while I wait on whatever's going to manifest with that. I can't control it. Let me control what I can control and have hope and passion in that, and that's going to have to unfold how it unfolds. I got into this space based upon how I grew up in my childhood. As a kid, I was diagnosed with ADHD. I was probably in elementary school. And in the early 90s and 2000s, teachers, administrators were very not privy to the information about mental health at that time. It was very taboo. So within that space, I had a mom who really was an advocate, supportive of any and everything I did. She was a single mom, my only child. So she would go to bat for me, be my biggest advocate no matter what it was, good, bad, in between. There were times where I was genuinely misjudged or put in a taboo space, or had a stigma on me, but those times I was probably getting a bad ass too, right? But she did the research and the education to teach me about what ADHD looks like, right? And showing to me that in no form or fashion to ever let it be a weakness or be ashamed of it, or let anybody dim my light or tell me what I can't accomplish or do due to somebody else's ignorance or lack of knowledge of how to educate or deal with a child that learns different from somebody else. Lots of battles, coming back and forth to the school, talking to teachers, talking to guidance counselors, talking to principals about what they were doing wrong, but educating them at the same time. Those times they tried to place me in places of trying to put me in special education, or say that he's unable to learn in a certain environment, right? My mom won't go for that. So through a lot of back and forth, we ended up putting me in more advanced classes. And I started to excel and do better than I was doing before. The reason and the issue was, my method of learning was I had to really be stimulated, I had to be challenged. I was bored in my regular classes. With my companies, I see a lot of times dealing with teachers and schools that we work with, they'll mention a child they think needs our services, and the first thing they say is, oh, he's bad, or he's not smart enough, we need to put him here. And these, a lot of times, are their brightest children. So the more we have these conversations and the more we push the narrative, the more we take away this stigma, right? Because people will shun things they are ignorant to because of the lack of desire to learn and or the desire to possibly be wrong. And that's only detrimental to our community and detrimental to the future of pushing anything to understand each other in a better space. And it makes everybody want to be more sheltered. It makes you not want to talk about it. I asked everybody how they were doing because generally speaking, whether you're having a good day or a bad day, a lot of us will be asked that question and always say, oh, I'm okay, I'm all right. Knowing you could be going through hell that day. Week could be messed up. Whole month could be going to shit, right? But me personally, a lot of times I don't like to bring up my issues to another person, right? Because I feel like you have your own issues and things you have on your plate. I don't want to be a burden to you. But that's not proper for me either, right? Because at the end of the day, if I'm talking to you, in some form or fashion, we have a relationship, I feel like you care about me, you're a loved one, you're a friend, you're a brother, sister, whatever, right? So I should be able to have that conversation and not feel condemned or feel like I'm burdening you. And vice versa, we should reciprocate that energy. So I want you all to do check-ins. I want you all to check in with your friends, check in with your family, check in with your kids, check in with your wife. Ask them how their mental is. See how they're feeling. And they may be a little apprehensive at first, right? But don't stop doing those check-ins. You know, you said you were starting to feel better, but then took some work that you set back and started working on coping skills, right? And you gotta do that work. Life is a roller coaster. Life is gonna be a lot of ups and downs, a lot of back and forth. Very similar to boxing. It's back and forth, back and forth. But you have to really hone in on doing the mental preparation and the internal work to work on your defense. People in life love offense. Offense is the glitz and glamour, right? Basketball, people want to score, but the defenders win the game, right? Floyd is by far the best defensive boxer of all time. But that's also why he's the best of all time, due to the fact that he puts the hard work in the mental training to be able to anticipate what's going to happen before it happens. Because one thing about life, life's going to life. So when life get to life, you can have everything going great, and that's celebrated. You deserve it. But be prepared for what may happen or occur that you can't predict. I was extremely humbled about 4 years ago within one of my companies. Built it up to be very successful, multi-million-dollar business. Coming back from a vacation, came into the office, had a notice, and realized that our biggest revenue stream was coming to an end in about a week or two. Didn't know how to prepare for that, didn't know what to do to stop it, right? Got reassurance that we were gonna get it back on track from that revenue payer. We thought it was gonna be good. We tried to put Band-Aids on it, took out business loans, tried to work through it. They had to shut everything down. And as a leader and as the boss, I'm responsible for how my employees put clothes on their back, how they feed their kids, how they pay their rent, right? I felt like a failure. I felt embarrassed. I ended up realizing months later, and I fell into one of the darkest places I've ever been in my life, and I went to a severe depression. There was days I didn't even want to get out of bed. I wanted to sleep all day. There were many days where I would put my phone on silent and just be anticipating on the close of business to come, because I got tired of hearing phone calls of loans we had taken out that we couldn't cover as a business anymore, and dreading wake up the next morning because the start of business would come back. And it took a lot of soul searching. It took a lot of great friends and supportive pieces there. Even my brother here today, Lee. It took, he let me have my moments and times to stress and sulk in it, but at some point it's like, you gotta get your ass up. You gotta figure this out. You had your moment, right? And that's just tough love. One of my ways of getting out of that depression on stage was to really hone in on exercise. I feel like when you're in the gym, when you're working out in fitness, that's one of the few things in life we have complete and utter control over, right? And you start to see the progress when you're doing it. And me, if I'm working out, as I'm working out, I now know that I'm working on what I can control, so now it makes me want to lock in and better every other facet of life, right? It's similar to when we talked about you working on one thing because you can't control that, and then you figure out a way to work on that too, right? Then I also changed my diet a lot, right? Very strict. Some people, some of my friends might thought I was crazy because I went so aggressive with it, but it's about discipline. And once you train your mind to do certain things you think you couldn't do, it opens up an array of new things that you are capable of doing. And once you have a cleaner diet and more fit and a better fitness regimen, your clarity is there in a whole different space. Your energy is different. Now you got more energy, you can do more things. You can anticipate something that may happen. You can emotionally be prepared for something that's a disappointment. But if your diet's messed up, you're out of shape, or whatever the case may be, and something is hitting you emotionally, now that's going to hit you like a ton of bricks. Now that's going to make you depressed, right? Suicide is a major thing in our community. 84 men kill themselves every week. I want somebody to take a guess of what percentage of all suicides are men. What would you guess? Say 90?
It's like 70.
75%. 75% of all suicides are male. And that's due, in fact, to a lot of times we're scared to talk about what we have going on and what's bothering us. Society has built us up to believe that we're weak if we're vulnerable. It's not weak. It's one of the strongest things you can do as a man. Be emotionally available, be vulnerable, open up, be constantly working on what you can do to better yourself. We're in a society now where every podcast and every meme is talking about, oh, masculine energy, and he doesn't have it, he does have it, right?
Yeah.
It is the ultimate masculine strength to sit back as a man, acknowledge that you have an issue, open up, seek help about it, and work on it. Ultimate masculine energy. I know we're looked at as providers, protectors, the backbones of our community. But guess what? If your mental isn't there, if your overall health isn't there, how in the hell can you be the best you can be to be those things to your loved ones if you're not taking care of yourself? It's impossible. It starts with you. It starts with the work. You have to do it. I want you guys to leave here today and understand that we have to support each other first, before anybody else, as brothers. I just met some of you gentlemen, but we're brothers. We're our own ecosystem. Don't be afraid to seek help. They have betterhelp.org, they have mind.org. If there's somebody in here today who has an issue that is near to your heart, you want to talk about it in private, I'm more than happy to step aside. We can talk about it. I can offer whatever guidance I may be able to give, offer whatever resources I may know of. But I want you guys to reach your highest potential and make an impact and pass this on to your loved ones and your brothers and your kids. And let's continue this conversation. I appreciate you guys.
Thank you.
Yeah, let's do it. Everybody, let's just give it up for him. We'll just pass these around. All right.
Yeah. Roper, Mike, and Jay, you already up there.
Yeah. Introducing the panelists. Yeah. We'll just pass this down.
First we have curator of the event, Jay Reeves.
Woo-woo.
Yeah. We have the Fly creative director, Super Roper. Man, inspiring Mike Walls here. So, gonna continue the conversation, Jay. I want to first ask you, well, I do this. Go ahead and give a little bit of information about yourself that you knew, which I know you did with your first intro, but give a little bit of information about yourself, and then I have some questions to directly take on you.
Yeah. So what's up, everyone? My name is Jay. I know some of y'all don't. Some of y'all just seen in passing a few times, and it's cool. It's all love, you know. I'm from New Jersey. I grew up by way of Charlotte, and I've been in LA now for about 10 years. I act for a living, and I didn't come out here for acting, to be honest. I came out here because I was getting in trouble in Charlotte, but it worked out, and that's what I do for a living. And besides that, I train in martial arts, and I care about you guys. You know, and that's why I wanted to meet you all today and just create this community. You know, during the pandemic, I felt like I lost a community in church. I lost my home. I couldn't go to church, so I didn't have anybody to lean on, and I had to find that on my own. So I'm here today to create that with you brothers. So yeah, thank you.
I go by Super Roper. I am a light. I try to be as healthy as possible I can as far as my influence on the world while I'm here. I just wanted to introduce myself to you. I lost a parent too, and it don't really get no easier. So, man, I know how tough that could be. And just know I know your mom will want you to be happy and healthy.
Yeah, please let them know.
I'm a creative genius, and I say that because words are powerful, and that's not to belittle anybody, but you are what you say. Your subconscious is gonna retain it no matter what. So speak highly of yourself. I'm a creative genius. It's a lot of stuff that I do, but I designed this ensemble. Check me out. And I use my platform to exchange knowledge that I learn and things I learn about dietary knowledge of the mind. And so I work with a lot of different people to help build their brands and their products or to build their image. Also sell these garments when I feel like it. I don't really got a boss, so I do things when I feel like it, which is also healthy. You know what I'm saying? You don't got no umbrella over you. Yeah.
That's a good shot.
What's up, y'all? My name is Mike Walls from Silver Spring, Maryland.
Nice.
DMV in the building, anybody East Coast in the building. I'm the creative director of a lot of different brands under the umbrella of Free Life Entertainment. I founded Free Life to raise the vibration of the universe, essentially, through creative services, building brands and businesses. I'm a hip hop artist as well. That's why I came out here, got into film. I produce films. I act sometimes, but Jay Reeves is the guy. Yeah, man, and that's what my mission is to raise the vibration of the universe by living the free life, which is your life, the life that is the direct alignment with you. And I think when we pursue that, we pursue our greatest joy. I think that we can be the best versions of ourselves, we can be the best servants, we can produce the best work. And it makes the world a better place when everybody is loving the life that they live, you know? So, yeah, that's me. Thank you. Thank y'all for being here today.
Mike, I'm gonna stay with you, and I'm gonna ask you, in your transition from athlete to philanthropy and I guess back to athlete, right?
Mm-hmm.
College football star, career kind of came to an end due to injury,
Yes, sir.
and over a decade, no athletics. And now running triathlons and marathons in support of LA's Children's Hospital for Cancer.
Yes, sir.
What did the mental work look like to get to the point where you, because I know there's a lot of battling to get over that big of a gap. I've had injuries in sports in college too, so I get it.
Yeah. Man, the journey was a lot of ups and downs. Obviously, you go through deep depression and a deep sense of loss when you get injured and can't perform at the level that you were at and in the way that you've been doing for all your life, essentially. And what helped me was, one, I had the creative arts to fall back on to make sure that I didn't lose everything. You know what I'm saying? And through that, I felt a sense of accomplishment, a sense of purpose still. But there was a part of me that even as far as I got in my creative career, there was a part of me missing still because I wasn't whole, I wasn't holistic. And I abandoned athleticism because, again, I didn't believe that I had a purpose or a space to perform or a reason. I think during the pandemic, you know, I had a bunch of guys that me and Jay know, also former athletes, came together and we formed a collective called Lifestyle Athlete. And we are first a brothers circle, a tribe of men that come together to support one another, but we do that through sport, whether that's running on the beach, doing hikes, you know, and that eventually turned into running marathons, doing triathlons and stuff. But the journey was difficult, but at the same time, I think it's a journey that a lot of athletes go through. And even if you were never if you never got to the Division I level, I think it's important to find the thing that keeps you in motion. And I'm grateful that I was able to do that.
Even when you guys sports references, piggyback on
Mike, knowing Mike, when I met Mike, he was doing music, and I haven't seen this brother in years, and now he's running, all kind of marathons, and he has his, just finished school again. So, I think that just really touches on how you could be persistent at things in that life, and at any age, you can do whatever you want, and that's why, I really thought this brother would be important to speak from 1500 to nothing to everything else you've done. I mean, it's amazing, brother. So thank you.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah.
Jay, in the acting space, the film industry, you have to adapt to a lot of different roles constantly. Right? Some of those roles, I guess, may be similar to you personality. Some of them may be a drastic difference. Right? What is the preparation, or what have you encountered that's kind of been a stressor in doing so and trying to make that adaptation and not taking it home with you?
All right, let's keep it real. I'm gonna say Hollywood. I'm gonna tell y'all, we all live in Hollywood, or we come out here, and the more work you do, the more that becomes a factor. The more you run into these parties, and you run into these people, you run into these situations that you have to put on a face for, or look a certain way. And during the pandemic, I gained 50 pounds. That was huge. Well, 40 or 50. And I had to lose that because I went from being cast as number one to being the best friend in every movie. Like, they don't even want to see me as the lead no more. They just want you as the cousin or something, So it's serious, but this is like, that's my business. So for me, like, just staying focused, staying consistent, and also showing up every day. Boxing helps me show up. That's all it does. If I stay up till 5 a.m., it helps me stay up. Last night I stayed up till 5 a.m. and I'm here, because this is like my job as an entrepreneur, is to keep my body in shape right now with acting. So those are the hardest things, I would think. It's just this town specifically. Yeah, that shit is hard. Real talk.
I haven't lived in LA, but the friends I have in the many years I've been visiting, I hear about it.
Yeah.
I watch it change some people too.
Yeah, and that's another thing. I'm sure all these brothers can talk about it, and I would encourage y'all too in this room. Hollywood it's a lot of fun, but it's draining. So yeah.
How's Hollywood affecting you?
Hollywood's the highest of the heavens and the lowest of the hells. You'll find everything here is just what you are. It's going to multiply you by 10. It'll show you who you are. If you're solid, you can really create, a lot out here. If you're not, you're eventually going to go home. You get sent home.
So one thing I would say, you have to find your group of support here in Hollywood. And the good thing, Black Hollywood is so strong here. Everybody knows each other, and you'll see the same people everywhere. So just finding the people that kind of support you doing the same thing, that has helped me tremendously, because everybody's doing the same, basically running that same race. Now, supporting the people that get to somewhere else before you do, that's the most important thing. Because the next time you'll be above them, because you want that same support.
That's important. That's an important factor. Because even in that support, we're talking about being open and vulnerable, right? If you turn around and you think somebody's on your team, and then they see you win, and then you don't support them because they got to that goal before you did, that's not, what kind of support you guys gonna have when they mental, right? Because now they feel like their circle has a tink in it. You got a tink in your arm at that point, right? Because we ain't as strong as we thought we were. My team ain't what I thought it was. My friends weren't what I thought they were. Because really it was envy, right? So that's also part of mental preparation, mental pressure. Roll. Go ahead.
I just wanted to say, man, I really appreciate Jay for having this, because this is my West African brother right here, so he knows how it is. It's different, just kind of being raised and growing up African, but it's also another thing entirely being West African, having to suppress your emotion and whatnot. That's the way you were raised, you know what I mean? So it's he understands.
No.
Yeah, so I really appreciate him having the courage to be transparent.
creative space. What type of mental fog do you ever run into? You run into trying to be creative.
I don't run into too many mental falls because I backed my vision so much that I rarely have people to question my vision. So a lot of times when I do walk in a room, I receive the respect. But what I've had to do on my personal to get to that point, confidence is practice. Confidence is doing. Whatever they say confidence is or was before this very moment, confidence is action, right? And I'm explaining why confidence is doing, because the more you take the shot, the more you hit the shot, the more you're confident with the shot.
Yeah.
So when you step on the court, you dropping them. And I don't really play basketball with you. You know what I'm saying? But like you netting them because you sure about yourself. And that's the inner work that exceeds what anybody else thinks about you. Because when you walk into those rooms, they're like, oh, we seen his highlight reel. We see what he's capable of. But they don't see the shots I missed. They don't see the moments that I wasn't confident, the moments that I wasn't sure about myself. They see this confident, sure person that they have no choice but to believe in. So push through. And it's really tough being creative because you're trying to show someone what's inside of your head while using their thoughts about it. Like, yo, you ain't never seen patent leather with a crease stitched in it. You're not gonna know what that seemed like when I explained it to you. So then you out here, you could be fighting for your vision to be selected or your vision to be sought through. But when you come in and you are sure of yourself and you confident with yourself and you do that work, that's when you in those rooms and it's not being questioned.
Jay, I would say, how often do you do routine check-ins? I was talking about check-ins when I was talking, but how often do you check in? Your friends, your family, see what people's mind, their mind, their balances.
Yeah. I feel like I don't check in enough. And sometimes I don't check in, and when I do check in with my friends, they be like, damn, nigga, why you asking me? You know, they want to know why I'm asking them. But it's something that I'm trying to make more of a habit, because especially doing these TV shows, the people that are on this platform, people think their mental is all good, when really I know these brothers and they going through it, you know, and they put it on because they got this new show coming out. And to me, it's like I wish I could check on them more, and I invite these brothers to spaces like this, and I think we all should, because it's going to take time for them to open up, because they're so used to being looked at as that guy, or looking at it as you got money, you know, or you got swag that you don't need to check on your mental. So I like to check in a lot of the times with my father and the new therapist I got, which is a little weird, you know. Because they just listen. You know, and I talked to some of my brothers in here about it, and like I said, I think this should be just something we do more often.
Yeah. Your question was, how often do we check in?
Yeah, same for you.
So, what I learned about the whole like checking in and when you like, oh brother, how you doing, or what's up, what's going on, it seemed kind of like it could come off awkward, or what you mean, or why you asking. But what I've done was, right, I've become an advocate of saying how I feel. So when you just having a bad day and you just go tell everybody that you're having a bad day, or when you're going through something and you just go like, yo, like you just vulnerable, I've done that so much because I don't want people. I stopped lying to myself.
Mm-hmm.
When you stop lying to yourself, you stop lying to everybody else, right? So now when you like, damn, I feel like this, I will go and I'll be like, yo, I feel like this, I'm going through this, I feel this way, and I'll even share how I overcame it, right? So now, I don't even gotta check in with people. When they going through something, yo, bro, I know you went through this before, and I've experienced this, so if we all start, like, yo, your homie not gonna come and ask you about your jumper if he ain't seen you get busy on the court. So if we start being, it starts with us. If we start being proactive with being expressive in private and in public, those people will feel more comfortable with coming to you without you even having to go in. Because imagine, you either want to get the call or you're going to get the call. And what I mean by that is, you could either get, bro, I'm going through something, or you could get, damn, you heard what happened there? Yeah. You don't want to get the call. Yeah. You want to get the call. So, create a space where you're vulnerable without anyone asking you, because sometimes they might not know you need to get called. You know what I'm saying? But if you go and you just proactively express how you feel, then that's when they can come tap in. We keep on going behind closed doors and crying behind closed doors. Can't nobody help you. Can't nobody tap you on the shoulder. Can't nobody relate to what you're going through if they don't know you're going through it. I love the fact that we can go, let's tap in. Hey, bro, how you doing? But also, let's take initiative. Say it ourselves, do it ourselves, be proactive, so that you can also let them know, like, oh, you good over here. When you call me, you're not gonna be judged. You saw me, say what I needed to say. When you need somebody to, like, yo, and then stop doing the bare minimum. It ain't just a conversation sometimes. Where you at? I'm about to pull up there, bro. Where you at? Bro, that conversation don't be enough sometimes. Pull up, because it's just like, the difference between being nice. Sometimes people are being nice, and sometimes people are being kind. There's a difference. Being nice has no action to it. Oh, that's a nice sweater. Yeah. That's being nice. Or, oh, damn, like, I hope you figure it out, your flat tire. That's being nice. Being kind is helping them remove that tire and make sure they back on the road rolling. So, that phone conversation could just be a nice gesture. Go pull up on your people. Go pull up on your people, bro. I hear you. Matter of fact, let's talk about where you at. I'm finishing this up. I'm on my way right after that. Bro, for everybody. Friend, family, women friends, relationships, all of that, yo. Stop doing the bare minimum and also be proactive with giving out that vulnerability so that people can feel comfortable, wow, to give it to you in return. You got some questions? Oh, you want to ask me something?
Yeah, I think well, you said it best, bro. I think the only thing I could add to that would be the best way to like tap in, check in on others is to like proactively check in with yourself. You know what I'm saying? I think to kind of piggyback off the first question you asked me, along the journey that I went through transitioning from like being the man somewhere and then like being on my own, it actually forced me to learn the mechanics of the universe. It also but it allowed me to develop the tools and the resources that I could use outside of my sport to be a holistic human versus being tied to the identity of a Division I athlete or the idea that I was dreaming of a professional athlete. Now that that's off the table, it's just me. And I had to find value in that. I had to work to find value in that alone. And then everything else that came as a result of that was a result of that work. And some of the tools that I use and would implore everyone else to use is like waking up before your phone start ringing. You know what I'm saying? And when you wake up, don't look at your phone first. Instead, what I like to do is I like to take on my best days 2 to 3 hours to myself. And that might sound like a long time, but if your work day starts at 8 or 9 and you're up at 5 or 6, you have a whole day to yourself before the actual day starts.
Yeah.
So in that time, I meditate, I journal, I work out, and I put something in. I drink water, and I get a plant-based smoothie. And that's kind of like the thing that when I do those things, my day is 100 times better. My vibration is 100 times better than it would have been had I not done those things. And I think the name of the game is creating the energetic and vibrational momentum for yourself to be effective in your life. And I check in with myself every day, and I hope that allows me to be a better friend, a better partner, a better lover to my girl. And yeah, man, though checking in with yourself allows you to one, prepare your mind for what's coming. So if you say to yourself like, yo, thank you God, I am blessed, I am grateful, I am loved, I am light, my man. You know what I'm saying? It's like those things get into you, and no matter what somebody else has to say, whether if that's opposite or negative or otherwise, if they disagree, you said it first. So when somebody says, yeah, you ain't shit, you it's like
My subconscious already retained the positive.
Yeah, bro. Spiritual armor. You know? So yeah, that's how
I wanted to just tap in with the way you start your day. We're just meeting, but the way that he started his day is extremely similar to the way that I start my day. And just to give you a better example, boom, we could just hop on, not even Instagram, right? Sometimes I get text messages that be like, yo, wait, whoa. And like, not even to darken the mood, like, who got shot, who got in a car crash, who got robbed, like, whoa.
first thing.
You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes, like, yo, like, why do people even feel comfortable with sending crazy shit like that? That early, like, you know what I mean? Not that I don't want to know, but like, did you think about how, this is gonna be the first thing he see? No, but when I rise, I show my gratitude for being able to be alive. First things first. Boom. Whether you pray to positivity, whether you pray to God or Allah, whatever the title may be, we all know that it's a higher power. Thank you, God, for waking me today. I am grateful to be here. And today is going to be an amazing day. You already set the tone. Don't let life pick how your day gonna go.
No, because it will.
Because it will. You know what I'm saying? And then when you already set, like you said, when you already put your spiritual armor on, you set the tone. I've had a girl wig out because of the way I've reacted to something, right? And it's all about your reaction. I woke up, or I rise, told myself today was gonna be an amazing day, that I'm grateful for being alive. I proceeded to leave the house. See my beautiful G-Wagon, window busted out. $800 worth of clothes that I used to style, took it out of it, right? I see the glass on the floor, literally walking up, glass on the floor. I already told myself today was gonna be an amazing day. I see the glass, I'm like, damn, that's crazy. She's like, what? I'm like, they busted my window out, took the clothes out. So calm. I'm like, wow, that's crazy. They busted my window out. Calm as ever. She's like, what are you talking about? Thinking I'm joking because of how casual I made it. Yo, my day is gonna be amazing. That could be fixed. That could be replaced. Easy. She said, I would have been looking for anybody to pick a fight with. This was her response. She was like, yo, I've been ready to fight the next person I saw. You only, because she ain't say her day was gonna be amazing. She ain't say today was her birthday and she gonna act like today her birthday. She ain't say that I'm gonna be best dressed and I'm gonna eat good and I'm gonna end it however I wanna end it. She ain't confirmed that. I confirmed that. Therefore, it ain't no alterations. Guess what? Guess what I did? I called up, oh, y'all got windows? No, we don't got windows. Y'all got windows? How much y'all windows? No, it ain't that much. All right, cool. Y'all got windows? I bet I'm gonna pull up. I got my window fixed.
Yeah.
I went to the company that I was doing the work with and said, yo, this will happen. Oh, we'll reimburse you for the clothes, it's fine. And I proceeded to have an amazing day.
Yeah.
Listen, your reaction is your choice. Be careful with the choices that you make. Be mindful of them, and you gotta stick to it. You gotta stick to it. Don't let nobody flip the bar. Yo, and I'm glad that you was able to speak on that, so I can speak on this.
Absolutely.
Not the G-Wagon.
Them joints, the windows was out of stock too, and it cost $1,000. So,
Let's see.
See, yeah. But you know what I'm saying? And then, when you lose somebody, a person that's irreplaceable, materialistic things don't mean nothing.
Yeah.
No scuffed shoe, no stolen. That can be. You got it once. They ain't stop making it.
Yeah.
You can go get this shoe again. You can go get. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
In some form of fashion, these manufactured things can be replaced. Your day cannot be replaced.
Nah.
Your day, that time you spend running around being pissed, being mad. And then I know that it's some people who would even be so mad that anybody or everybody around them pisses them off. Don't let that happen to you, where you're just being a dick to everybody because you ain't choose for your day to be amazing. Set the tone, choose to be healthy, and proceed and stick to that.
Good.
Yeah, no. That was
That was
great.
great.
Yeah,
That was
great.
great.
Yeah, that was great. Steve.
You rushing us?
No, I just wanted to, open the floor to hear from y'all.
Any questions?
Any questions or thoughts? I mean, we all here together, and I know each one of you have incredible stories. So,
Testimony, whatever it is.
I got a question.
yeah. Say something.
I got a question for you, Jay. At what point did you have to get to in order to finally make the decision to get therapy? Because I know that's a big deal for a lot of black men in general. I think that there's a lot of talk about like, oh, you know what I'm saying, people suggesting therapy and, maybe choosing other alternatives as opposed to just picking the thing that is actually going to help with your therapy. So
At what point? The point for me was definitely, it actually didn't come from me. It came from the people around me. When I would see my brothers going through stuff or going through things and how they handled it, I was like, you know what, maybe I should. Oh man.
I figured that was good.
Yeah.
Go and start over.
Yeah.
Your answer.
For me, it was more so about the people around me. My close friends, I would see some of them become homeless, some of them battle things, some of them, car get totaled in the same day, or when I know they're struggling to make their business. And these situations just made me really look at my life. And I didn't realize something until my close friend, he says, yo, Jay, I don't know how your mental's so strong. You ain't working like 3 years. And he said it as like a joke. I was like, damn, she ain't working. It's the whole pandemic, And I didn't realize,
He got a pocket.
He said, yo, you didn't work in 3 years. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, damn, it has been 3 years. But I didn't realize how it affected my mental. To me, I was just like, I grew up playing sports, so we're taught to just put your head down and do the drill until it's over. But then once I looked up, I could see what was really going on, and I realized this is something I need. I need to talk to people. I need to connect with brothers, because when I feel low, and I always feel low in this city, that's what helps me. And especially coming here to work out with my friends, because then we're all pushing in. you know, we can go out, we buy tables all the time, we get drunk, we do all that, but nothing feels better than when I do something for myself. You know, there's something that actually benefits my body, like working out. And then you get to look in the photo, in the picture or the mirror and look, like, you know, see your results and then see how healthy you are. So for me, it came from my community, and it wasn't until recent. You know, this is actually my second time speaking on mental health. And the first time, I didn't know why they asked me. You know, now I do. So yeah.
I wanted to say something. One, I have never seen a therapist, but I am very conscious about fixing the problems before you can't fix the problem. So, you know what I mean, going to go receive that help before it was like, damn, like, you know what I mean? I spoke about something earlier and I knew what I was about to say. I'm drawing a blank. We spoke about something earlier. I was about to talk about it. But yeah, be proactive. When you see the issue, address the issue. You know what I mean? Be mindful of it and get the help that you need. Oh, lost again.
Just one more time. Yeah. I've never seen a therapist yet, but I'm excited to, and I want to talk to you more about that. I feel the value of that. But what takes the place of that for me, and I wanted to say this because therapy doesn't have to look like institutionalized therapy all the time, even though it's great. My therapy is my brothers in my community. And the fact that we're all in here right now, I wanted to, it's therapeutic. Yeah. The fact that we all showed up for this today.
On a Sunday?
On a Sunday?
In LA?
In LA. Say more.
Sunday fun. You can do anything, but you hate.
But what that shows me is that every individual in here is intentional about their mental health and their highest self.
Congratulations to that.
Congratulations to that. That's, and if you don't have a therapist, I think the best thing that we can do as men is find individuals who show up for this reason and show up like this together often. You know, I have a group of my brother's lifestyle athlete. We meet every new and full moon. And we come together at my homie's crib, smoke a little bit, talk, express what we're going through, be heard. We have ceremony, you know what I'm saying? And without that, it's like I wouldn't have a way to tap in. I wouldn't have a space that's safe that looks like this, black men. You know what I'm saying? Or just men in general. And that's important. So community. And thank y'all for being community for me today. And I hope we can do this more. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
Anybody else? Oh, you got a question?
So I just wanted to say a statement. I think that just like you need D-line coach, head coach, offensive coordinator, all these coaches, the multi-layered effect of everything actually affects the most. So if you have a counselor, I do. I just got a black woman counselor for the first time, and now that I'm in corporate America, also in my own business, but it makes it so much better to hear a perspective, because I used to use only white counselors because it's just, that's what was available.
Yeah.
But now I have a very good perspective of understanding, like, when I'm going through something, that I'm talking to a person that actually understands the black experience. And so when it comes to be racism in corporate America or wherever I'm experiencing it, now I get to talk about it. But also, I did start, I play sports, not anything for real, all side, like pickup games and stuff, but I just started doing jiu-jitsu. And I want to say that sports actually is a very specific type of therapy. I've never known and don't know how I lived my whole life without choking people consensually. At the end of the hard day, you choke somebody out and they want it again. So having that ability to be able to exert then be able to actually use that with growth and performance and understanding that has been a great thing. And I appreciate everybody here. And I hope that we are going to do this more often. And I'm on board for whatever the next meeting is.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say that sometimes I feel like therapy is not like just going to see a therapist. Like, I feel like you need to find what you love to do and do that in your spare time, and that in itself will be is therapy. So like, if it's working out, if it's doing music, even if it's knitting or something like that, that's therapeutic. Just having a moment to yourself, and when you're doing something that you love, the people that love that as well are eventually gonna find you, and you'll be able to connect, and you'll be able to develop relationships from that. So I feel like just find out what you love to do that, and make that therapy for yourself as well.
Hey everybody, Kai here, pleasure. No, I think there's like a lot of different outlets for us. Like me personally, Dylan's here. He's been cutting my hair for like 10 years. He just loves to cut hair, and like he listens. Like I'll be on the phone all around. Like he is like one of my therapists. Like he's like one of my accountability buddies too.
Yeah.
Like, I'll say things and then he'll be like, "That's wild, bro. You gotta get your life together." Right. Yeah. And then also pivoting onto that too. Like I think like group chats are very important. Like people like I make a lot of group chats with all my different friends. That like I have 4 friends in 5 different group chats, just because it builds a community and it builds like a certain level of acceptance, but accountability again. Like I know in our group chat, like I'll call them in the morning, we'll talk about what I did last night, whether it's acceptable or not, and like just various things. So I think we should really like not only lean into our friends, but also let our friends be able to lean into us. Yeah. And I think that's like one of the that's the best forms of therapy, because sometimes we may not like be like, hey, I'm gonna go to a therapist and everything like that, but like just having friends that we're close to that could hold us accountable and like building towards that. Like friendship is a journey that we should all like get on and develop. But,
yes, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you. About to wrap up, but even in that, and I want to say this earlier, if you have a friend group where you can't be vulnerable and you go ahead and be expressive, as Robert talked about, you lay it all on the table, right? You get any apprehension back for those friends or those people around you, cut them off. Definitely.
Yeah.
Because we're in too dangerous of a space as black men to not be able to open up, be vulnerable, and try to be preventative and have negative energy, right? Mm-hmm. There's nothing negative about you being vulnerable with your friends and being positive and trying to support them and vice versa. Mm-hmm. So if that energy's in there, go ahead and kill it off now. That's dead.
Yeah.
And I wanted to say something too, because unfortunately, well, I mean, I did the work, right? I've done a lot of work. So when I go to my friend groups, I don't see that many people that could add on to what I know. You know, so just being, honest about it, it's not too many people who can add on to what I know. So what I do, I run to books. And I'm gonna keep it a buck, I'm not sitting here turning pages. I'm listening to audiobooks. They cost Chick-fil-A meals, bro. And they will give you secrets.
Yes.
They will give you so much clarity. Yo, I would show you my library. Anybody who wanna know what I've been reading? They will give you so much clarity. These books, yo, pick up the books or the audiobooks. So many secrets, so much like, oh shit.
You can do it while you're doing multiple things.
Yeah. And then we always driving.
Yep.
Even working out, you could be listening to something. We play this music. Music might make you feel good, but music isn't feeding you knowledge. Things that, like, you paying for the music, but it's the music paying you in return. It's not. So when I am going through something, or when I'm not going through something, I'm learning how to stay ahead. My savings is gonna be 10 times more than what I'm spending. So I'm continuously learning, because I don't wanna have to be like, oh, like, how do you build a house and need shelter? I'm gonna know how to build a house while I'm living in the house. You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna know how to heal myself before I get hurt. So continuously learning, and the plus on that is when he's going through it, I can tell him. You know what I'm saying? He going through it, I can tell him. So on top of being vulnerable and letting him know when you're going through something, you learning, you're becoming an asset to your people. You're becoming an asset to yourself, and you becoming an asset to your people. You don't want to be a liability to your people. And to me, example of being a liability to your people is, damn, bro, that's crazy. You a liability.
Yeah.
When your response is, damn, bro, that's crazy. Wow. Sheesh, yeah, me too. Yo, you a liability when you can't really like pour into like, and then like even when people like, oh yeah, like I said, like that's the bare minimum. Like, don't be the person that you can take from, or you can receive but you can't give. You gotta be a person that's learning and be what you want to receive, right? If you want a person that can loan you money, be somebody that can loan the money. If you want to be somebody who can help you out and like time, create a lifestyle for yourself where you have available time to be able to spend with your people and to spend on yourself, to be able to work on yourself. Because some people crash and burn and still gotta get up and go to work because the career they chose don't allow them that space. And as men, we're providers, so we don't really get a lot of opportunities to be able to take off to heal ourselves. Am I being rushed? But we don't get a lot of time to be able to take off to heal ourselves, right? And all of that is extremely important to be able to have that. So when you choosing your careers, when you choosing the women you dating, when you choosing the way you spend your time, all of that is valuable. And like I said, the audio books will tell you everything. They will help you unlearn and relearn to the max. You had something you wanted to say?
Yeah, contributing.
You got it?
You got it. I want you to pick up on something we talked about when we close out to it. Go ahead. Go ahead first.
Cool. Thank you. First off, I'm grateful for this, event that you have going on. It's ironic. I wasn't going to say anything either, but for the vulnerability moment, today is the 3-year anniversary of me going through a domestic violence situation that ended up being a single father.
Wow.
Right, and it's important to know the difference between reacting and responding. Right, your reaction is an emotional, thing. Responding is something where you respond in a way to make sure that whatever the outcome is beneficial to you. And I went through a pretty serious situation where I was put in the hospital. Through the whole thing, a lot of my friends were like, "Damn, man, how you like we couldn't even tell if you didn't really tell us what happened." And part of it was personal development. Doing audio books and being a solid person. You know what I'm saying? It was crazy. I was forced to do therapy because of the situation they were going through. But I'm a very self-reflecting person as well. So I was going through therapy and it's like, these people are kind of just, state workers or whatever. They're just, making me do what I have to do. But it was ironic as well. I started dating, coming into contact with women that were therapists, even though I was avoiding therapy. Right, and so, still, doing my thing and, dated 3 women that were therapists. It was like the universe was bringing these women into my life. At the same time too. And I still avoided therapy because I went through a situation where my lady at the time was like, "You need a therapist. You need to go to therapy." I went to therapy, and the lady was like, "I don't think you're the one that needs therapy." But it was like this thing that was used to, try to frame me as the one who was going through something, right? And but you know, I'm in this space. It's crazy because I hit one of my old shorties up. She moved to Atlanta. I was like, you know, I need a black therapist. You know, like another man that I can relate to. You know, but it's ironic because I started like boxing about maybe 6 months ago. You know, and it's really just upgraded my whole way that I approach life, and I'm in shape, and you know, got a 6-pack back. You know, all my friends are like, "Damn, you look good," you know. But it's like part of my routine now. I gotta do that stuff, you know. But just that personal development and you know, spiritual development and you know, physical development, having those different layers on top of everything, you know. And it was, you know, I was over here like, damn, I ain't gonna say nothing about my situation, but you know, it's
really
like,
appreciate you,
know,
Shane.
it's, you know, and I'm very clandestine about my situation, you know, because I've had this presence around my friends where everything is cool with me, you know, so everybody think, you know, I got my shit together, you know, and it was embarrassing going through that situation because everybody thought that we were like this beautiful black family, you know, and then comes like, why are the pictures going on Instagram, you know what I'm saying, like, where is that, you know, I don't know if people even were paying that much attention to it, but it was something that was like, damn, like my whole world fell apart, but because of personal development that I did before, you know, just having a solid foundation, I was able to overcome it, you know, but it's still, I know there's more work to be done. You know, going through situations with women that I'm dating now, you know, and getting triggered, you know, by, you know, their lack of emotional control, you know, which is really what I was going through with my child's mother, you know, which is why I ended up, you know, in that situation. You had a lack of, you know, just emotional, being able to control those things. But you know, I appreciate everybody that is in here and has something to say today, and just grateful for the opportunity to come in here and break this workout.
We'll close out with that. Appreciate you, Shane.
Thank you.
Appreciate you involved.
Yeah, so we kind of get it shut down. Yeah, we'll probably hold on. So real quick, we have about a 40-minute workout being led by our instructors over there, James and Allende. It should be tons of fun. Feel free to grab snacks. There's bags. And is there anything else you guys wanted to say before we?
No, I mean, I just appreciate us having this conversation. I appreciate everybody being vulnerable. I don't want to preach at anybody about mental health, right? I want us to feel comfortable. And I think we were successful in that. Sure. I think people even got a little more vulnerable than they expected to get.
Yeah.
Right?
Can you shout out everybody that put that together, put things together?
Yeah. So shout out to the whole crew who helped produce this thing and put this together. Y'all got something to say, James?
Oh no, I was just saying, if you need gloves, wraps, all that stuff, we already got them in the cupboards over there. So.
Yeah, there's tons of stuff. There's gift bags over there. And also, we're leaving this room, but it doesn't have to end here. You know, connect with all of us, connect with each other, and let's create this community we were just talking about, you know. Y'all my brothers in here now, so let's stay locked in and really grow together.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.